So when you see this crowd, you would think that this was one of those other protest gatherings. You would think that maybe somebody was maybe murdered by an officer. Do you think that's what this is? No. Let me tell you what this is. This is a gathering of people who were excited. And I mean, they were extremely excited. And they had reason to be excited. Let's be honest here. They had reason to be excited. But things got out of control to the extent to where more than 70 people were arrested and 8 officers were injured. And so you see the crowd of people. Now, mind you, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. And you have all these people that are gathering. And this event that was happening, this is basically a video. So now you can see what this gathering was. It was the 2020 World Championships for the Lakers. It's a full video. Now, I'm not going to click on this video, but you can just see from the still image that this was what was going down. This was in downtown Los Angeles near the Staples Center. And so it was the 2020 championship. So 76 arrested and 8 officers were injured after riots hit Los Angeles following a Lakers championship win. So this is by Julio Rosas. And so, I mean, I was excited. I wasn't, I'm not really into sports that deep, but I mean, that was cool to see that they won, but they were a pretty good team. But never to the extent that I would want to go downtown and just start going crazy. And well, let me read the article. So downtown Los Angeles area was rocked with the celebrations following the Lakers championship win against the Miami Heat on Sunday night. With the mass of fans, they gathered outside the Staples Center and started to engage in a violent, destructive behavior. So some of the celebration in the crowd began to destroy the businesses, the city buses, along with targeting the present LAPD officers. Now, we kind of know a little bit why some of that went down because there's been a lot of drama behind the LAPD. But hey, this is a celebration. You would think people would not really be into wanting to tear up anything. But I guess if you have alcohol and maybe some drugs in there, who knows what people are capable of doing. So one bus was heavily damaged and a small fire was started on one of the seats. And so rioters, they smashed the windows that covered the exterior with graffiti. So a group at Lakers fans surrounded several LAPD cars outside the Staples Center. And so this was Mike Rocker's TV. So the police vehicles, they reversed, and the crowd eventually, they scattered. And so continuing coverage was on that. That was during the time that it was happening. So the full video of the Metro buses being vandalized and set on fire. Allegedly, the driver was assaulted. LAPD and LA Fire Department, they responded to the scene to clear the protesters away. So I guess they were people, they claimed they were protesters. I don't know, protesting the Lakers? I don't know. So certain sources state that just after this occurrence, a man was shot at this intersection downtown. Now, I don't understand what happened with that. So Starbucks was also looted that night, vandalized during the riots. So there was I hate to say that, a Laker riot? Anyway, related to the Lakers championship celebration in downtown LA, so reports state that at least 5 alleged looters were arrested at the store. So look at this is Starbucks right here. These images are pretty disturbing. But LAPD used crowd control munitions to disperse rioters as they threw objects and also fireworks. Now I heard a lot of fireworks on here in South LA, fireworks were going off. I was trying to figure out, is there something I missed? Is there a holiday? Because, like I said, I'm not in sports that deep, unless it's track and field. But then I started hearing people yelling, Lakers! And I was like, oh, okay, that's what happened. So LAPD are attacked with bottles, fireworks, other projectiles as they disperse the crowd, less than lethal munitions. Okay, so it got rowdy. So there's just photo after photo and video after video. LAPD declares unlawful assembly near Staples Center as massive crowds celebrating Lakers win. Wow, this really gets bad. Okay. Ooh, wow. So at least one fight was broken out. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. This is a video. So LAPD announced on Monday that 76 people were arrested and 30 buildings were damaged. See, this actually is getting a lot more detail than they did on the news. And on the news earlier today, they had this guy, he had a little dog. He was saying, oh, everybody was happy. They were celebrating, and my dog is celebrating. They didn't say nothing about 30 buildings that were damaged, 8 officers injured, and 2 people were injured from the officers, and then a shooting happened. You know, who does that? But anyway, that's my thought. So last night, largely peaceful celebration downtown of the Lakers championship turned into confrontational, violent, and destructive behavior. 76 arrests, 30 buildings damaged, 8 officers injured, 2 injured by less lethal munitions fired by the officers. And so basically, I guess this is a statement Los Angeles Police Department put out. And so you can read it at your leisure. But let's go back up here and pan back up and look at some of the melee, because I'm kind of curious. This was Ninth and Cloud. Don't know if it'll play. Don't know. We'll see. That doesn't look good to me. That doesn't look like a nice celebration. It does look destructive. So let's take a look at this one. Wow, that's pretty. Woo! inside look of how things were going down and see the news. I don't think they showed this. Whoa, that that was pretty. It got pretty wild down there. I didn't know it was actually I didn't know it was that big of a gathering down there until after they had mentioned that whole scene. So I guess this was the initial overhead view of that whole scene down there in downtown Los Angeles. So you can see the Staples Center right there. Wow, that was something. Looked like there was a, you know, large, more than one large gathering down there. But I will say this, even before the pandemic, there had been, in the past, this was before, Kobe passed, away. When they had won before, there were championships they won before, and these these gatherings of celebrations for the Lakers teams had gotten pretty wild, before in the past. So this is not really something new, to be honest. This might be something that we haven't seen in a while. Also, I want to add in here too. I don't know if you've seen this or you noticed this, but I noticed that lately the sports teams, I noticed like the Dodgers, the Lakers, the Raiders, certain people will adopt the sports team and they almost treat it as if it's like a game. They take the team colors, the team logo, and I don't know if you recall, this was some years ago, where a guy, I guess he came from another, I don't know if he came from here in LA or another part of town or whatever. He was visiting. He went to see a Dodgers game, and the Dodgers, I think maybe they didn't do well. I don't know if they did well or not. I don't know how they went. But what I do know is that he went in the parking lot and he was attacked by two other Dodger fans, and they beat him brutally. And he had I think a lawsuit. I don't know if it was against the city or the safetyness of that parking lot, because those games, they serve alcohol, and then also they have like these gatherings that are huge, to where some people, once they get alcohol in them and they get overly all that adrenaline, that excitement, they become like violent. You know, it goes from exciting and people are like, with the sports teams, they get kind of violent. And this has happened. This is not the first time this has happened. And so this guy, they beat him so bad that he's permanently in a wheelchair. And so I don't know if you ever heard about that story, but that guy, he sued. I believe he sued the city, or maybe he sued that stadium for not having safety precautions for people going to their car and everything. Because I guess he might have said something about his team versus the Dodgers team. That's the way I believe it was worded, that he was rooting for another team, and these other two guys were rooting for the Dodgers, and so they beat him viciously. He could have died. It's surprising that he even survived that brutal beating. But you can even see where they beat his head in. I don't know if they used a bat or something, but I think they cracked his skull, and so he had to have a plate or something to put in his head. But these gatherings for these teams can get really, really vicious, and when either they win or lose, you never know what could happen, and so it can be really scary. So I've noticed that some people have a mentality where they take these teams as if it's a game, and if you don't like the team or you're for a different team, it's almost like they want to attack you. And they take it personal. And, you should see how some people get just from sports. It's like sports violence. So anyway, we haven't said that. I'm gonna let this video go, but that's pretty. Wow, I'm not surprised. Because now I feel like this is something that I don't think they really pay close attention to. That sometimes these sports events can get pretty violent. And so they might have to make a practice when there's a championship for, game, to already be set up for these type of situations, because this, I don't think, was anything really new, because I think there's been some stuff like this before, and where they had to disperse the crowd. But this right here seemed like it's been a while since it got this crazy. But having said that, I'm going to let this video go. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for listening. Just be safe out there. But I want to see what's going to happen now, because, with all these people gathering, you notice I didn't really see anybody wearing masks neither. Did you? Well, anyway, I'm going to let this video go. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for listening.